Hello everyone and welcome back to Cosette's Book Corner. As you can see, I am in the process of straightening my teeth, so if at any moment I sound like I'm lisping or I need to rub my bottom lip, it's because my bottom teeth just got the brackets on a few days ago and it's still a little bit sore. So for my next video, I was kind of wondering what I should do because there are quite a few books that I'd love to talk about. And then Marissa Meyer put out a new YA novel and I read it, and as soon as I was done, I knew this is the one I had to talk about. So today we're going to be discussing Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I actually tried recording this before, but I felt like my thoughts were too jumbled, so I have written this handy dandy little note on my computer screen so I can try and keep myself on track. Just a side note, this video will contain spoilers. I know this book is fairly new and not everyone has gotten a chance to read it yet. If you don't want to get spoiled, please do not watch this video just yet. It's about the girl who will end up being the Queen of Hearts. Her name is Catherine. So basically this is kind of like a Wicked-esque book in that regard. Basically the story is about her trying to decide whether or not she should go along with what her parents want, which is to marry the King of Hearts, or to follow her own dreams, which is to open a bakery, which is beneath her status as nobility in the Kingdom of Hearts. And along the way, she falls in love with Jest, who is a court joker, who is actually there on his own mission to rid his homeland of chess from war. And in order to do that, he needs the heart of the Queen of Hearts to bring back to the White Queen so she can use it to somehow save the land. I don't really know how that would work. But anyway, he needs Kath's heart because he knows that she is going to be the next Queen of Hearts. Before I actually delve into what I liked and didn't like about this, I really feel like I should talk about the false advertising that went on with this. Like, I mean, on most websites that are talking about this book and like selling it, they use the tagline, "Long before she was the terror of Wonderland, the infamous Queen of Hearts, she was just the girl who wanted to fall in love." No. Like I said before, she wanted to open a bakery and follow her dreams, and then the love part just kind of happened. It's not that she was desperate for a husband, it just happened to be that she met somebody who she wouldn't mind spending the rest of her life with. Baking is basically the number one thing in her life. I don't understand why all these YA novels have to make it about the boys. Like, honestly, Hunger Games did the same thing, like Team Peeta, Team Gale, and all that nonsense, but really, it was always about Prim! The same thing here. Ooh, Team King of Hearts, Team Jest. No, it was always about the bakery! And then in the inside flap, I also feel like there's false advertising. Catherine may be one of the most desirable girls in Wonderland, and a favorite of the unmarried king. No. Again. I mean, yeah, the king and Jess both really like her, but that's only two people, unless you're counting the Knave of Hearts, Jack, who treats her like she's some kind of insect and tells her she's ugly and unremarkable. I feel like that's supposed to be his behavior because he doesn't really know how to express his feelings, but it's 2017, can we just kill that trope already? So I don't really count him. I don't really call that the most desirable girl of Wonderland, but whatever. But her interests lie elsewhere. A talented baker, she wants to open a shop and create delectable pastries. But for her mother, such a goal is unthinkable for a woman who could be a queen. Yeah, you guys already know where this is going, don't you? At a royal ball where Kath is expected to receive the king's marriage proposal, she meets handsome and mysterious Jest. For the first time, she feels the pull of true attraction, more like the pull of teenage hormones. At the risk of offending the king and infuriating her parents, she and Just enter into a secret courtship. If by courtship you mean they go to one mad tea party together, they exchange several conversations with each other alone, and make out one time, then yeah, that's a secret courtship, I suppose. Kath is determined to choose her own destiny, but in a land thriving with magic, madness, and monsters, fate has other plans. And oh, does it ever! First, I'm gonna talk about the things that I actually liked about this book, because there were a few. Obviously, I really liked the additions and expansions that Meyer put into this world that we are already so familiar with. She took characters like Cheshire and played with him a little bit. He was a little more gossipy and just doing his own thing. I actually wanted more of him because he was really sassy, and I liked that about him. I did want to see what her version of chess looked like, but we didn't really get to see that. There was only like a 1 or 2 sentence long description, which really sucked, honestly. The fact that Hearts was like a kingdom I thought was really cool, and the fact that there were so many characters who lived within this kingdom. It was kind of split. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, it all took place in Hearts, I'm assuming, and then Alice Through the Looking Glass and what she found there all took place in chess. I really liked that distinction, and the fact that it was divided by a looking glass. That was really cool. The fact that Kath's father was not as spineless as I thought he was going to be was really nice. I figured he was just going to be like the quiet head of the house who didn't really do anything, was too scared to stand up to his shrill and bitchy wife, but he actually was curious and willing to listen to what Kath had to say, and once she did, he would gently turn her down and then stand firm in his decisions. He was a lot more proactive than I thought he would be, which, again, bravo. Some of the side characters were kind of cute. There was this like Duke of Tuscany who was a pig and had a crush on this ugly bratty girl that Kath was friends with, and she kind of played matchmaker, and they ended up together at the end, so yay, I guess. There were a couple tragic characters in here which I really liked. The Mad Hatter is constantly trying to outrun time because he is from a line of hatters who have all gone mad and killed themselves, so he is constantly hopping from one side of the looking glass to the other, and he is just worried that eventually time's going to catch up with him. He is the cause of so much pain and so much of what happens in this book. It's just a lot to take in, and you find out that basically, yeah, it is all his fault that everything happens. Peter Pumpkin Eater is in this book too, as is his wife. Something happens to his wife and he tries very hard to save her, but in the end he unfortunately cannot, and the way he deals with her death ends up getting him killed in the end as well. On to what I didn't like about this story. The romance! Yeah, really surprised that I said that, right? The romance was just very bare bones and just not interesting at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, I thought Kath was a very interesting character. She seemed like a very real person. She was very determined to get what she wanted, and she was basically the only one in the kingdom who cared that, you know, things were going wrong, but everyone else was just content to just, you know, ignore the fact that there's this huge monster terrorizing people and eating other people, and who cares, let's just have a party about it. She was the only one who really actually wanted to do something about that. Just himself was really interesting. I mean, he was mysterious, and I would have loved to hear more about his life as a rook back in chess. He was a joker, but he also could be very serious at times. And he also, yeah, was very romantic, and I really liked that. I just wish there would have been more time devoted to this relationship that is so central to this plot than basically this circular, boring, endless loop that happens in the first 300 pages. I want to open a bakery, Mom and Dad. You can't open a bakery, Catherine. That's beneath you. I don't want to marry the king, Mom and Dad. You're going to marry the king, Catherine, because we said so. That over and over and over again, and it was so irritating. Last 100 pages kind of realized that, oh God, we gotta wrap this up. Just threw everything at me, and I was like, whoa, calm down there, story. This book ends with obviously Kath becoming the Queen of Hearts, but other awful things happen too. They get into a situation where it's either go to chess and help Justin, his friend Raven, do what they came to Hearts for, and somehow everybody lives happily ever after, or go save Kath's best friend Marianne from getting eaten by the Jabberwocky, and of course they pick the latter. And I mean, before this, we basically have gotten this prophecy that bad things are gonna happen if they go, you know, through a doorway, and to get to Marianne, they go through a doorway, so you automatically know the thing is gonna happen, bad things are going to happen, and you can't stop it from happening, and you're just like, no! Like I said, the way Peter deals with the fact that, you know, his wife is the Jabberwocky and they kill her, he kills Just and cuts off his head. I felt that Kath had a right to be upset about it, but the fact that she didn't really know him that well or for very long, and the fact that their romance wasn't written as deeply and as well as it could have been, it made her grieving process look like a very selfish way of handling it and very overdramatic. I feel really bad for saying that because, I mean, she did lose someone very important to her, but it just didn't make a lot of sense for her to act the way that she did. She basically was rude to everybody, including people who she previously saw as friends. She blamed Marianne and the Mad Hatter for the things that happened. And I mean, again, like I said, the Mad Hatter is basically to blame because since he is outrunning time and constantly jumping between Looking Glass worlds, he brings over things from chess that have amped up magic and hearts. So he has these pumpkin seeds randomly and decides to try to pawn them off to Peter and his wife, and they say, no, we don't want your stuff, and so he just chucks them away, and they grow in the pumpkin patch, and Sir Peter's wife eats them, and then, you know, she turns into something else because they're magic pumpkins. He is responsible for everything, and unfortunately he is unable to outrun time at the very end when we see him trying to come to terms with what happened, and he becomes the Hatter that we all are familiar with from Alice in Wonderland. I really just didn't think that the way it was paced was the best that it could have been. Again, I'm fine with the fact that it's a foregone conclusion that Kath is going to be the Queen of Hearts, because, I mean, I wouldn't be reading it if I didn't know that already. Just and Kath were basically, pun intended, the heart of this book. They were supposed to be like the emotional center, and it really felt like their romance was forced and not very genuine at all. The fact that she becomes this awful, awful ruler who just doesn't care about anybody at all and just wants to kill everybody who wrongs her, it just didn't seem fitting because of the fact that she just lost a hot piece of ass that she had met like 2 weeks ago. I know that people really liked it. I know that people didn't really like it. This is just my opinion. Please feel free to talk to me about what you liked and didn't like, because I could be wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm just a bitter person like Kath ended up being about this book. Next time I think I'm going to go ahead and talk about 5 Nights at Freddy's Silver Eyes. I look forward to seeing you again and have a nice day. Bye.